Welcome back to Journey After 60, where we empower mature women to live their best lives with confidence and wisdom. If you're a woman over 60 navigating the world of dating, I believe this conversation can save you not only from heartbreak, but also from wasting your most precious resource, your time. At this stage of life, we know better than to chase illusions. And yet, even the strongest women sometimes catch themselves wondering, am I imagining this, or is he simply wasting my time? The truth is, you're not targeted because you're weak or naive. The opposite. Men who play games often seek out mature women precisely because of your patience, your life experience, and because they assume you'll tolerate behaviors that younger women won't. A recent study even found that men dating significantly older women often use sophisticated, manipulative language in the early months, sweet, soothing, and yes, dangerous. That's why in today's video, we'll uncover 8 critical red flags that reveal when a man is just playing you. These aren't meant to scare you, they're meant to empower you. Because once you recognize these patterns clearly, they become as obvious as neon lights in the dark. Before we get started, if you believe women over 60 deserve wisdom, respect, and genuine love, then like this video and subscribe to my channel. Together, we can help more women recognize their worth and never settle for less. Now, let's start with the very first red flag, a subtle yet powerful sign that often appears before you even realize it. Number 1. He avoids defining the relationship. You may spend time with him, share intimate moments, and feel a connection growing, but the moment the question arises, "What are we?" he turns vague. He might say things like, "Why put labels on it?" or "Let's just enjoy what we have." On the surface, those words sound freeing, even romantic. But look closer. They are often a shield, a way to keep you at arm's length. For many women after 60, this ambiguity is exhausting. We're not here to feel confused or misled. We're here for real companionship. I think of a lovely woman in her 60s who once shared her story with me. She had been seeing a man for nearly a year, traveling together, dining out, even spending holidays side by side. But every time she gently asked where things were headed, he'd laugh and say, "Why ruin something beautiful with labels?" She wanted to believe him, but deep down she knew. The truth became undeniable when she introduced him to a friend as her partner, and he immediately corrected her. "Oh no, we're just enjoying our time together." That moment revealed everything. He never intended to offer the security of commitment. Over the years, I've seen this pattern again and again. Men who dodge defining the relationship are often dodging responsibility. If they never name it, they never have to commit. And the result? You're left suspended, waiting for something they have no intention of giving. Writer Anais Nin once said, "We don't see things as they are, we see them as we are." In love, it's the same. If he can't see you as a worthy partner, it's not because you lack value. It's because he is afraid, immature, or simply unwilling. And truly, after 60, uncertainty is no place for you to live. You've invested too much time and energy to waste it on a relationship built on hesitation. A real partner won't be afraid of the word relationship. He won't dodge clarity or shrink from commitment. He'll stand beside you proudly and say, "This is the woman I'm with." So if months pass and the relationship remains undefined, take it as a message. Vagueness, avoidance, and silence are not signs of love. They are signs of hesitation and sometimes deception. Real love doesn't hide in ambiguity. It shines in honesty and clarity. It brings you peace so you know exactly where you stand in his life. And if a man keeps you guessing about your role, it's rarely to protect the moment. It's usually to protect his own freedom. Have you ever been in a situation where someone avoided defining the relationship, leaving you uncertain? Share your story in the comments. It may help another woman spot this red flag sooner. When a man won't even define what you mean to him, confusion becomes the foundation of the relationship. And that same uncertainty often shows up in the way he communicates. Number 2, his communication runs hot and cold. You can tell a lot about a man, not by what he says in the moment, but by how steadily he keeps showing up. And if his words and attention swing wildly from warm to cold, that's not romance, it's a warning sign. I once spoke with Carol, a woman of 68 who started dating a man she met through a friend. In the beginning, his attention was intoxicating. Every morning started with a "Good morning, beautiful" text, and every evening ended with a phone call. But then, out of nowhere, the messages slowed, the calls stopped, and Carol found herself staring at her phone, wondering what she had done wrong. A few days later, he returned with charm, acting as if nothing had happened. The cycle repeated, intense closeness followed by silence. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement, and it's one of the most powerful hooks in human relationships. It keeps you guessing, keeps you hoping, and keeps you emotionally invested, even when the treatment you're receiving is unfair. Younger women may experience this too, but for women over 60, the cost is higher. We don't have the patience or the time for games that drain our peace of mind. Consistent communication is, at its core, a form of respect. When a man truly values you, you don't have to sit by the phone wondering where you stand or why his words have suddenly disappeared. Hot and cold behavior isn't about him being busy or not good with phones. It's about him setting the terms, pulling you close when it suits him, and pulling away when it doesn't. Real love doesn't leave you guessing. It shows up. It communicates steadily, even in small ways, and it never makes you feel like you're begging for scraps of attention. If his communication feels like a game of hide and seek, take it as a red flag waving clearly in front of you. He's not building trust, he's controlling the pace. If you've ever wondered whether inconsistency in his communication is a sign of something bigger, watch closely, because the real answer often shows up in his patterns of presence. Number 3. He only shows up when it's convenient for him. Have you ever felt that quiet ache of waiting? Wondering why he only calls when it suits him, but never when your heart truly needs someone by your side? It's a painful truth, yet all too common. Some men show up only when it benefits them. They reach out when they're restless, visit when they're lonely, and vanish the moment your needs might require effort. That isn't partnership, that's convenience. And in Love After 60, where time and presence are the deepest gifts we can give, convenience disguised as love is one of the clearest red flags you can spot. The philosopher Epictetus once wrote, "If someone values you, they will make time for you." It really is that simple. A man who genuinely cares will not leave you waiting, questioning, or doubting your worth. He doesn't tuck you into the corners of his life. He makes space for you at the center of it. When a man only appears when it's convenient for him, it reveals something about his priorities. To him, you're not a partner to cherish, you're an option to use. And if you accept that, the relationship quietly teaches you to shrink, to settle, to convince yourself that crumbs are enough. But they're not. So here's my gentle reminder. Consistency is love in action. Care that only shows up on his schedule isn't care at all. Real companionship is measured in steady presence, not scattered appearances. And since we're walking this journey together, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever noticed this pattern in your own path where a man seemed present but only on his terms? If you feel comfortable, share your wisdom in the comments. Your words may be the guiding light another woman needs right now. And sometimes his presence isn't just inconsistent. It comes in waves of intensity, followed by sudden silence. Number 4. He love bombs you and then disappears. One of the most emotionally damaging behaviors mature women can encounter in dating is love bombing followed by sudden disappearance. This pattern is especially cruel because it creates an addictive cycle that leaves you confused, desperate, and even questioning your own worth. At first, he overwhelms you with affection, grand declarations, constant texts, romantic gestures that make you feel like you've stepped into a fairy tale. But just as you begin to trust it, he pulls away. The silence after the storm is deafening. For mature women, this can hit incredibly close to home. Maybe you've been through a divorce and haven't felt desired in years. Maybe you've been widowed and almost forgot what it was like to have someone excited just to be with you. Maybe you've been single for so long that you wondered if love would ever return. So when a man shows up and makes you feel like the most special woman in the world, it's intoxicating. You think, finally, someone sees my worth. Finally, I've found what I've been waiting for. But here's where the cruelty sets in. After weeks or even months of intense attention, he vanishes. Not slowly fading out, but gone completely. No explanation, no goodbye, no gentle decline in contact. One day he's telling you he loves you, and the next he's disappeared. When this happens, it's shattering. You replay every conversation, analyze every moment, searching for what you did wrong. You think, but he said he loved me, or but we had such a strong connection, or even, but he introduced me to his sister. You can't reconcile the sudden abandonment because the love bombing felt so real. Here's the truth. Love bombing is not love. It's manipulation. Genuine love doesn't crash in with fireworks and then vanish into silence. Real love grows steadily, like a flame that stays lit. A man who truly values you won't flood you with intensity only to disappear. He'll show up with consistency, calmness, and trustworthiness. If his intensity doesn't match his reliability, take it as a red flag. You deserve a partner who is steady and present, not one who leaves you dizzy on a roller coaster. A love that burns bright in private but hides in the shadows of your real life isn't love at all. It's secrecy dressed up as romance. Number 5. He avoids your inner circle. One of the clearest signs a man isn't truly invested is when he keeps himself separate from the people who make up your world. He's happy to enjoy your sweetness in private, but he avoids the light of your friendships, your family, and those closest to you. It's as if he wants the pleasure of your company without the responsibility of being known. A man who loves you won't fear the eyes of the people who care about you. Sure, he might be shy. Yes, he might take his time to warm up. But real affection doesn't hide. It doesn't resist being woven into the fabric of your daily life. If months go by and he's never met your closest friends, never joined a dinner with your children, never shown curiosity about your community, then what he wants isn't partnership, it's secrecy. There's an old African proverb that says, "If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together." Genuine love understands this truth. It doesn't stay tucked away in the shadows. It reaches outward, stitching two lives into one shared community. So when a man resists meeting your inner circle, he's resisting one of the very threads that make love strong. He prefers the safety of the dark, where no one can hold him accountable for his real intentions. Let me pause and ask you, how do you feel about introducing someone new to the people you love? Do you see it as a natural step, or do you wait until you're absolutely sure? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how other women approach this, because your perspective might be exactly what another sister in this community needs to hear. Remember this: hidden love is not lasting love. A partner who is proud to stand beside you in private will also be proud to stand with you before those who matter most. And if he cannot do that, he isn't building a future. He's protecting a secret. And secrets rarely stay buried. They often reveal themselves later in painful ways when your own needs and feelings begin to be dismissed. Number 6. When your needs and feelings are ignored. I once met a 70-year-old woman in a dance class. Music was her lifelong passion. She dreamed of going to concerts again, of holding someone's hand while melodies carried her back to the days of her youth. But every time she brought it up, the man she was seeing just laughed and said, "At our age? Don't be ridiculous." When she longed for quiet weekends together, he dismissed her with, "You're boring." Slowly, she stopped talking, stopped sharing. Her desires were locked away in silence. Not because they were too small, but because he never made space for them. This is the silent cruelty of being ignored. It's not loud or explosive. It seeps in quietly, wearing you down until you start to believe your feelings are a nuisance, your needs a burden. For women dating after 60, this is one of the most dangerous red flags. We've learned patience, compromise, and understanding over the years, but patience should never mean erasing yourself. A true partnership values the little things. It listens when you're tired, cares when you're lonely, and makes room for your joys, especially the simple ones, because those are the essence of your soul. If a man dismisses those, he's not just ignoring your wishes, he's ignoring you. Always remember, your voice matters, your needs matter, and your desires matter. You're not asking for too much, and you're not asking for too little. You deserve the kind of love where your words are listened to, your feelings are respected, and your spirit is cherished, not brushed aside. So, if you find yourself falling silent, holding back thoughts, convincing yourself it's pointless to speak up, that's your heart sending you a message. Real love doesn't shrink you. It allows you to be seen, to be heard, and to be celebrated. At this stage of life, love isn't about sacrificing yourself for someone else's comfort. It's about expanding into the best version of who you are, with a partner by your side who delights in celebrating every step of your journey. Being silenced in your own relationship is already painful, but the wound cuts even deeper when his words paint a picture his actions never bother to complete. Number 7. When his words and actions don't match. Sweet talk can feel wonderful in the moment, but words without action are just smoke. If he says he cares, yet never shows up when it matters, what he's offering isn't love, it's illusion. Many men who are just playing around have mastered the art of saying the right thing. I miss you, you mean so much to me, I'll call you tomorrow. And in that moment, you want to believe it. But when the days pass without a call, when he's suddenly too busy, or when his support is missing in the moments you truly need him, the truth becomes clear. The words were decoration, not devotion. By this stage in life, we know real love doesn't hide in grand speeches. It reveals itself in consistency. A man who is genuine will follow through. If he says he'll be there, he shows up. If he promises to call, he does. And when he says he values you, you don't just hear it, you feel it in his actions. Sometimes the hardest lesson to accept is that love isn't in the things a man says, it's in the things he does without needing to be asked. Anyone can whisper the right words, but only someone who truly cares will back them up when it matters. If his promises float away while his actions never show up, don't twist yourself into waiting. Take it as clarity, not confusion. Because a man who wants to be with you will never make you wonder. He'll make it clear just by showing up. When words float away and actions fall short, the weight doesn't just land on him, it lands on you, slowly making you question your own worth. Number 8. He makes you doubt your worth. By the time you reach 60, you already know who you are and what you bring to a relationship. Yet, one of the most dangerous red flags is a man who chips away at that certainty. subtly or openly, making you question your own value. Maybe he criticizes your looks, your choices, or your independence. Maybe he jokes about your age or compares you to other women. Or maybe it's quieter than that. He simply withholds affection, gives you backhanded compliments, or makes you feel like you should be grateful just to have his attention. This behavior is toxic because it doesn't just waste your time, it erodes your confidence. And when your confidence weakens, it becomes easier to tolerate less than you deserve. That's exactly what men who play games count on. If they can make you shrink, you'll stop asking for more. The reality is, you don't need to prove your worth to anyone. A good man sees it immediately and treasures it. He doesn't make you question whether you're lovable. He makes you feel cherished without conditions. Real love builds you up. It doesn't break you down. As Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." If being with him makes you feel smaller, lonelier, or less secure in yourself, recognize it for what it is. That's not love. That's manipulation. And at this stage of life, you simply don't have the time or energy to entertain someone who benefits from making you feel less than you are. You are not less. You are more than enough. And the right man won't let you forget it. Ladies, we've walked through these 8 red flags together. And while some of these truths may feel heavy, I hope you carry them not as burdens, but as lanterns, guiding lights that steer you away from games and towards something real. Because here's the heart of it. You have already given so much to life. You've raised children, built families, carried responsibilities, and stood strong through countless storms. At this stage, love should not take from you, it should give back. It should honor your presence, respect your voice, and bring you peace instead of confusion. If you recognize yourself in any of these patterns, please remember this. It is never too late to walk away from what is wrong and open your heart to what is true. Your time is precious. Your spirit is precious. And you deserve a love that treats both with reverence. I often think that after 60, love is less about fireworks and more about steady warmth. Not the spark that dazzles and fades, but the steady flame that lights your evenings, the quiet conversations that soothe your soul, and the hand that holds yours without words, simply saying, "I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere." That is what you deserve, nothing less. If this video spoke to you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Share your stories, your wisdom, and even your own red flag experiences, because your voice may be the very encouragement another woman needs today. And if this message resonated, please like this video, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more conversations that honor who you are and the life you deserve. Thanks for watching my video, and see you in the next video.